Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Grim Report. Yeah, I'm trying to use a new program here, so bear with me. Now, this is what I got on the Garden of Eden. Yes, the Grim Files are going to the Garden of Eden. Well, we all know what it is. In the beginning, God created earth and heavens. This is what you know from verses of Scripture. I also shaped the man form. Genesis 2. Cosmogate literature, the ancient Near East, designed to speculate the origins of humanity, its first residence, and even more description of the Garden of Eden. It goes further and further. The thing is that it's in Israel. There's one written adapted by either political or retro purpose. Some of the current questions readers ought to ask properly. The descent of the Garden of Eden are what are importantly known to reach the goal. Now, getting back to what we all know as the Garden of Eden. Now, what we know is that we know what it looked like. We know more descriptions. I would went through a vague description of it because we all know it. That's why I didn't go through all the information that I had. Now, what are we doing? Why is the Grim team going to try to find Garden of Eden? Well, it all started when a friend of ours decided that it would be a good idea to take us to Israel. And everybody wanted to know where the garden is. People asked and asked and asked and asked, where's the garden? Where's the garden? Asked a bunch of people, asked rabbis and stuff like that. They got the same answer. It's here, it's there, and people searched everywhere for this. Now, some say it's in Africa, some say it's in Israel, somewhere. Now, what I'm going to go through with you guys is to tell you guys straight off the bat. I'm not sure what we found, but it was no Garden of Eden. It was a lost city, yes, but it was not the Garden of Eden. Now, what went on was that we did find a lost city, but what lost city it was, we don't know. Well, I know Garden of Eden is not a lost city. It's a garden where everything and anything is. That's how we know what we found was not the Garden of Eden. Now, getting back to it, we were told where it could be. So, somewhere, some small area in Israel near a river or lake, or what was left of a river or lake. In the mountains, well, near some cliffs, near an old temple. Some say the temple was built on top of the Garden of Eden. No, we went there, and all we found was ruins. I asked them again, I asked my friends, I asked her again, why are we looking for this? We're getting paid for this, yes, but we're only getting paid if we find the Garden of Eden. We're not getting paid if we just find a lost city. If we find a lost city, we're not getting paid. I was not in the mood to not get paid. Okay? So we were waiting on Sarah's friend, who was an archaeologist. We were waiting for about an hour and a half. I was reading the best description of the Garden of Eden you could get, and from my opinion, was the Bible itself. Angel holding a flaming sword to guard the gate. And I'm thinking over in my head, angels are unkillable. They're eternal. How are we going to get past an angel? And if God created these gates, they're pretty much impenetrable. So when we got down, when she was digging for what she we were when she got there, we started looking around the old temple to see if there was a way to get down in the basement, which she said, like I said, this temple was built on top of Eden, the Garden of Eden. Now, whether this was true or not, I don't know. We went. They were digging for what would seem. So we searched the room for what would seem for like an hour and a half. This small ruined temple. Oh, what small is pretty big, but until Jim decided to lean up on what would seem to be an altar. And the floor and the altar collapsed and hit a temple. Hit a pillar. The pillar collapsed and slammed in the floor, cracking, creating a hole in the floor. Now, this hole in the floor, the pillar slid down more and more and more till it hit the bottom. Now, this hole in the floor is pretty deep. How deep it was, I don't know. I didn't want to go down there, but guess what? We did. We went down there. To my protest, to saying, let's not do this. Let's not go down the hole. I don't want to go down the hole. I don't know where it's going to lead. Well, I always carry a flashlight on me, so they sent me down first. I should have cut my mouth shut. I went down there for what seemed about a half an hour, looking around, and I came upon this tunnel that was a natural tunnel under what seemed to be this temple. They come down with me. Of course, they had bigger flashlights. Go away, baby.
Sorry, I couldn't.
We searched and searched for what seemed to be a half an hour down this tunnel. We walked down this tunnel, searching around for an opening or an exit. Other than the woman that we just went past us, if we could have went past us, so we could have went past this tunnel. We could have not even been down here. I don't like places like this, or do I care to be in places like this? We went deeper and deeper into this tunnel. And then they found what looked to be gates. Now, these were not holy gates, but there was a guard that was in front of it. No longer living, not an angel, but a guard. Two guards, one at each side of the post. There was a sword in each one of their hands. Not flaming swords, but swords. Now, as we approached the gates and as we were about to push them open, the guards came to life. And they were not zombies, and they were skeletons. No, excuse me, I'm into the paranormal. I've killed plenty of things, but this is the first time I've ever killed a skeleton. Or broke a skeleton. Can you really kill a skeleton? And the guys that she brought down, Sarah's friend brought down, their bullets were not useful. They got murdered. See, bullets are made to go through bone. These things are already dead. The bullets went straight through the skulls, but then the skulls sealed over, and then they went to murdering those guys. Yeah. I, on the other hand, unsheathed my kukri and cut one of their heads off, and it turned to dust. And Jim did the same with his machete. And then we proceeded. After I took the sword, of course. It was an interesting looking sword. We proceeded into the city, and we didn't find the Garden of Eden, we found a city full of dust, but it was preserved dust. The place had been deserted for hundreds of thousands of years. It's very pretty. Some of the buildings even had, you could see underneath some of the dust, lined with gold trims all throughout the city. Paintings and murals on some walls. But this was not Eden. This was a lost city. Our great archaeological find. If you could just get past the Bone Boys. Yeah. They turned to dust after we killed them again. We went deep. There was seemingly to be a center building, which had to be part of the ruling class because it was pretty. It was very pretty. As we walked towards there was, like I said, nothing there. The place echoed because we're underground, but you could see waterfalls behind the tallest building. Water soaking in to the ground, going further and further down like it was going to the center of the earth. It was beautiful. Crystals would shimmer and reflect off the little sunlight, making them look like stars. Of course, the ground was sandy and dusty, but you could see that there was touch of marble and gold lines, untouched for thousands and thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years. So much so, the city had been untouched. You could even see the paint, the white paint on the side of the buildings. Faded over time, yes, but still beautiful. The floor was like it was made out of stone, carved stone. Faces carved in some places. Pots that have been left on the stove still there. Well, a cooking pot over a fire. Pots untouched by even time. Sitting there. As we got closer to the tallest building, the place seemed to get more open, like a garden was supposed to be in the center, because you could see a reflecting pool in the center of the walkway before you reached the main building. It was like marble had cut and trimmed with gold around it, some Arabian written language around in a circle. It was gold, marble, the language written around a circle right before you would walk in next to the reflecting pool. And then there's fountains on each side of this marble cut out encove circling like a park would have been here. Trees would have been in one spot. You could see the little pots, the little carved out stone centers. It looked like ivory met with gold and mixed. It was so beautiful. As you got closer to the tallest building, you could tell the place was trimmed in white marble, and gold flakes. It was a wondrous sight indeed. The top of the building was a dome, a circular dome that was blue with a gold trim. The other pillars beside it were about the same. It was like you were looking at Aladdin's castle, but twice as beautiful. This was truly an area, truly where the ruler of the city would have lived. We walked in and the gate just slowly creaked open. It was like looking at a monolith in the center of the building, reaching up to the tallest pillar. Center of the room, the back of the room, the center is an alcove incline, surrounded with Greek pillars on either side, painting in white and blue and white and light gold embossing. The throne had 3 on each side, coated in gold, but carved out of beautiful, beautiful granite. Beautiful marble in each chair, but the center of the throne room was the most beautiful of them all. There lied the king, the ruler of the city, of course. Bone, mummified. I'm supposing the king in the center and the queen on the left and the consort on the right. Well, on the left, and the king and the queen on the right. Still there, sitting on his throne. After all this time. We walked around and there was a room full of scripts, untouched. We dare not touch them for fear of them falling apart. Our only thing now is to get out of here, to leave. In which we did, same way we came up. We took pictures, I did, of course. She was going to send the archaeological team down there to remove the artifacts the proper way. I asked if we were going to get paid. She said no. We did not discover Eden. So I was rather upset, and in doing so, knowing that they would destroy this place, this would become the greatest archaeological find. But its beauty would be touched by robbers and thieves. Me and Jim decided, and Sarah decided, it should never be seen by anyone else. So, just as we left, and everybody left, I tossed a stick of dynamite. Well, me and Jim set up an explosion. 2 pounds of C4 should do it. We set the bomb off about a half hour later, just as they were about to try to go down there and cave in. Pictures should have been the only thing that had been taken from that place. We weren't getting paid, so they shouldn't either. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, good luck, good night, God bless.